What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles. Today I want to ask you the question, is the American Express Hilton Aspire card still the big kid on the block? Is the Aspire card still the big dog? Or have these changes to the Marriott cards shifted the power access in favor of the big time Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant? Well, I'm not going to do a direct comparison video with the Aspire against every other hotel keeper card, but I am going to go over why I think at $450, the American Express Hilton Aspire card is still king of the hill. Before we get started, if you are new here, I talk about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel. If you want to stay caught up with that, slap that subscribe button. And if you get any value at all out of this video, hit the like button for me so we can appease the algorithm goddess at YouTube. With that quick intro finished, let's get right to it. Okay, so today's question is simple. Here on the channel, I always considered the American Express Hilton Aspire card the best hotel keeper card in the game. Now, I may concede that I like Marriott properties better, or I like the Hilton loyalty program better, but that's not what I'm going to be talking about today. The Hilton Aspire card has competitors for sure. And if you prefer a different property, then it might not be for you. But I want to go over the card and quickly compare it to the field, and I'll explain why I think it's still the best to have in your wallet as far as hotel keeper cards. First off, let's talk about this premium annual fee. Now, most of the time when we talk about annual fees, we talk about how we can get enough value for that fee to make sense. This isn't quite the case with the Aspire card. The Aspire carries a hefty $450 annual fee, but when we talk about it, we only really speculate when that fee will go up. The card provides so much value, most of us understand that this can't last forever. What do I mean by that? Well, let's compare. The American Express Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card is weighing in with a hefty premium $650 annual fee. While the Aspire card's fee is substantial, it's a full $200 less than the Brilliant. There are a lot of folks that shy away from credit cards with annual fees, and I can understand that, but there are a whole other group of folks who just can't afford a $650 annual fee. Some people are basically priced out over $600. The next point I want to quickly make is one where I may get beat up on a little bit, but I'm okay with that. Let's talk about the card's earnings. Most of us aren't likely to put a ton of spend on a hotel keeper card for several reasons, but I could understand using the Aspire more often than some of its competitors. The card earns 14 times points at Hilton properties, and with the status we'll talk about later, that's going to equal 34 times points earned at Hilton properties when we factor in both the credit card bonus, the Hilton Honors points bonus, and the bonus for being a Diamond member. The card earns 7 times on flights and car rentals and restaurants. Finally, the card earns 3 times on everything else. Now, here's where I may take this beating. Bloggers and credit card experts have pegged the Hilton Honors points at around half a cent per point. I don't really see it that way. I've been consistently getting around 1 cent per point lately. Now, I know there are lots of reasons why this is happening, such as higher than average cash prices or special events in the location, but I'm still getting this value on my reward stays. If I were to see a stay half a cent per point, then I would just pay cash and earn 34 times points on that stay. You can argue that I'm cherry picking redemptions, and guess what? You're absolutely right. That's what I do. I suggest you do the same. Speaking of Diamond status, the Aspire card gives the cardholder the highest level of Hilton Honor status, and the largest argument is, well, if everyone is a Diamond, then no one is a Diamond. That's a great argument, but when I get Diamond perks, such as upgraded rooms, I can't help but not care what other Diamond members get. I found that when I stay at higher end properties, Conrad's and Waldorf's, I get higher end Diamond perks. If I stay at the economical or more affordable properties, then, well, that's a different story. The Marriott cards are now providing Platinum status, which I will admit is great and could be on par with Hilton Diamond, but I wouldn't put it as substantially more valuable. Now, let's get back to the money. We can all agree that $450 is no small potatoes. So let's review what kind of credits we get just for holding this card. Well, there is the yearly airline incidental credit of $250. I think we can all agree that once you do a little research, this one becomes easy to use and we can value it at a full $250. Nearly every airline has tricks and tips to maximize this one. Next up is the $250 resort credit. Now, let me remind you that this one is for the card year, not the calendar year. So every year you hold the card, you get a $250 credit at a Hilton resort. I've heard folks say that this one is too restrictive, but when I look at the list of Hilton resorts, I see plenty of opportunities and plenty of properties I want to visit. And this credit is good for everything from the room fare to food or adult beverages at the pool. I've never had an issue using that credit. Those two credits come to $500, and I think they more than make up for the $450 annual fee because one, I stay at Hilton resorts, and two, I travel. But we haven't gotten to the biggest perk. Well, let's save that for the end. There are a bunch more benefits of having this Aspire card. We have all the cool American Express stuff like great customer service, no foreign transaction fees, travel and purchase protections, but what else is here that we might find value in a tangible way? Well, we have talked about staying at higher end properties, and how about this perk that gets looked over all the time? With your Hilton Honors American Express Aspire card, you can book a 2-night minimum stay and get up to $100 in credits for qualifying charges at participating Waldorf Astoria hotels and Conrad hotels and resorts. Now, the Brilliant has a similar perk, so it's not all that special, and the knock on this benefit is always, well, sometimes the price is a little more expensive when I book this way. I can totally understand that, but it only takes a moment to check, and if you want that $100 to drink a fruity drink or 5 at the pool, then it could be worth your while. And this isn't a one-time perk. You can use this as many times as you want. So maybe you get $50 or $75 each time you book this way. How many different stays are you going to do next year? I've used the perk and I've gotten value from it. One perk, depending on your situation, could be a big deal. This card comes with a Priority Pass Select, which gives you access to over 1,200 airport lounges. Now, before you discount this, remember the new Sapphire lounges are reportedly going to be in the Priority Pass network. So maybe a big deal, maybe not. I can guarantee that average Priority Pass lounge is better than sitting next to Adam J and all the chaos surrounding him. Oh man, I really couldn't imagine. Two more things about Priority Pass, both good and bad. The Amex Priority Pass does not include the restaurants, so that's a bummer. But this card gets free authorized users and they will get their own Priority Passes. That's a pretty big deal. Now for a perk that separates the American Express Aspire card from its competition if you have this race close at all at this point. The Aspire comes with an annual free night award. What makes this free night different is there is no points cap like the Marriott, and you get a free night right off the rip. As soon as you get the card, you are eligible for a free night. This is not a $50K or $60K certificate. You can book this at any Hilton property that has a standard room available. Now, there will be some exceptions. There are properties that won't have any standard rooms, but this is rare. I found that at sometimes during the year, the Conrad Fort Lauderdale is right around $1,000 a night, and I use my free nights there. Sure, I could do better, but I love that property and we have had great experiences as far as upgrades there. So without an upgrade, I'm getting $1,000 worth of value on top of everything else I've talked about. I'm not seeing that type of value in any other hotel keeper card. Now, I'm not saying there aren't other great hotel cards out there. There are lots of them. Some of them may be a better fit for you. All I'm saying is, right now, nothing comes close for me. That's why there is a good chance that I'll be getting a second Aspire card this summer. Guys, using the card for hotel stays is a great way to earn Hilton Honors points, and there are opportunities to purchase Hilton Honors points for half a penny per point, and I will admit I do purchase the maximum every year. It's an easy way to get value. You can also count on a few times a year for a transfer bonus from American Express, and there could be some debate on whether that is a good transfer. Sometimes you can transfer MR points to Hilton Honors points at a ratio of 1 to 2.8 or 1 to 3. If you are redeeming them for a penny a point, then your MR points are getting 3 cents per point in that instance. Tell me in the comments, what type of value are you currently getting on average for your American Express MR points? Comment if you don't keep track because you're having a good time regardless of the math. Guys, do me a favor and check out my links in the description. If you want to apply for this card, I will leave a referral link for that as well. As always, guys, if you've stayed around all the way to the end, I appreciate you and I thank every one of you. Even you, Adam.